Hello outdoors enthusiasts and welcome back to the show. Today we're going to collect some wild herbs and we're going to use them to make a delicious spring-inspired risotto. So stay with me for this adventure.
Winter just said goodbye and spring just said hello, and now is the perfect time to go out and to collect some wild herbs. And let's start with my favorite. If you're a fan of the channel, you already know that I am talking about wild garlic. This is the absolute easiest wild herb that you could find. In the same spot I found also some langworth. This plant is very easy to recognize because it has some big green leaves with some white spots and a stunning purple flower. They say that this plant is very good for your lungs and is commonly used to make soups. Then we found also some beautiful violet flowers. And after that, the great burnet. This is probably the most interesting plant. The taste is absolutely unique. It reminds me of a melon or a cucumber. The taste is very refreshing and its culinary use is very vast. It's often used to make salad, is great with fish, and you can use it to make a delicious compound butter or even an ice cream. Moving forward, we found also some primrose. You can use the leaves of this plant to make soups and salads, but boil them first. And the flowers are used to make jams, syrups, or other kind of sweet stuff. People also use them to make a tea because they say that it's very good for your temper and it calms you down. But now let's move on to the next plant. This is a yarrow. The leaves of this plant are beautiful and they're great for decorating food. Leaves and flowers are commonly used to make teas. The taste is very bitter and this plant is great for your digestion. Where I come from, we use the leaves to make an egg frittata or an omelette, and the flowers are used to flavor alcohol and spirits. But the road had another surprise for us because we found this amazing waterfall. Check it out because that is absolutely breathtaking. Hike is over, we got everything that we need, and now let's start cooking. I just can't wait to show you my take on a white herb risotto. For this recipe we really don't need a big fire. And now put some olive oil into the pan, and when it gets hot, add the rice. It's very important that you don't wash the rice because you want to keep all of that starch. I am using carnaroli rice, but you can use arborio or even a vallone nano, but definitely don't use basmati or sushi rice. Next step, take the herbs and give it a very light chop, just like so. When you're making risotto, first you need to toast the rice, and then when it gets nice and hot, add just a splash of wine. As soon as the alcohol is gone, you can slowly start adding the stock, which has to be boiling hot. In this case I am using a very light vegetable stock, because for this recipe the taste of the stock does not need to be overpowering. This right here is a sauce that I made with some wild garlic. And if you want to see how I made this sauce, make sure to watch the video where I make pasta cavatelli. I will leave the link of the video in the description down below. Add the puree when your rice is halfway cooked. And it's important that you add your stock in multiple times, whenever you see that the rice needs it. We are almost there, and now is the perfect time to add some salt and pepper. Rice is ready, make sure that it's al dente and do not overcook it. Now let's throw in those beautiful wild herbs from earlier. And don't worry if it looks watery because we will thicken it up with the next process. So we had about 100 grams of rice, and for that quantity we will use 50 grams of Parmesan and 50 grams of butter. This process is called mantecatura, and it will transform a boring rice into a delicious cream. And this is how a risotto should look like. Thick, creamy and juicy. Now let's put all of that goodness on a plate. It looks good already, but I want to add a few more things. To give it some texture, I have decided to add this Parmesan crumble.
In my opinion, it gives a nice crunch to the whole thing. This risotto already looks amazing. It's already beautiful to me, but I want to make it even prettier. Natural features are amazing decorations. The idea here is to build an edible garden. And the more I add, the better looking it gets. And that's it, the plate has been completed. And let me tell you, because these kind of things really get me excited. It smells incredible, it looks incredible, but the only thing that really matters here is the taste, so let's give it a try. As you can see, there's absolute no doubt that this thing is extra creamy. But the taste is just special. It's difficult to describe it in herbs, but you can really feel the different tastes of each herb. There is some freshness, there is some bitterness, there is some sweetness, and this could be one of the most complete dishes that I have ever made. And that, by the way, is how you attract deer. My good friends, thank you very much for watching Outdoor Eaters. And please subscribe, like and follow.